Hey, my name's Andrew, and this is the Sennheiser MKE 400. In this review, I want to cover everything that you need to know about this microphone, from what comes in the box, to how it works, to the pros and cons. So let's just jump into it, starting with what comes in the box. First, you have the instruction manuals. It comes with a dead cat, which is a filter that slides on top of the microphone to help reduce wind noises. Comes with a cable to plug the microphone into a smartphone and a cable to plug the microphone into a camera. And you also get a travel bag to put all these items in, which is kind of handy if you'd want to put everything in one place. But the one thing we are all here for, the actual microphone itself. Alright, so now let's do an overview of this microphone. Starting with the price. Now, this microphone is coming in about $200, which, you know, if you're budget minded, $200 is a lot of money. There are cheaper microphones out there, but I think spending the extra money and buying a really good microphone is a good investment because, you know, down the road, if you buy a new camera or new lenses, this microphone will still be getting you really great audio. So I think it's worth the money. Now let's jump into the features. First of all, this microphone is battery powered. Now, on the back of it where it says Sennheiser MKE 400, there's a little tab. If you slide that down, it opens up, revealing the battery compartment. Now, this thing takes two AAA batteries, and I think that's kind of handy because, you know, they're cheap and they're easy to have in your camera bag. You know, if you're out shooting and your battery runs low, you can replace them. Now, this thing has 100 hours of battery life, which is a very long time. So when this thing is running low, it actually turns the power button red, which allows you to know that you have 3 hours left, and that is plenty of time to finish what you're recording, swap out the batteries, and keep going. When you have this thing mounted on top of your camera, plugged in, and you turn your camera on, it also turns the microphone on. So that's really nice to know that, you know, you're not gonna forget to turn on the microphone to record audio. And also when you turn your camera back off, it will also turn the microphone off. So that way you don't forget to turn it off and waste all that battery life. If you're worried about forgetting to turn it on or your battery running out, those features eliminate all those fears. Now there is a power button on the side. Like I said, it turns green whenever it's on. So that's a visual reminder that the, you know, microphone is turned on. There's also a switch for a low cut filter, which helps to reduce noise in the room. On the same side, there's a little minus and a plus sign. That is a sensitivity switch. So you have 3 settings. One is if you're going to be mounting it really close to a subject and you don't want it to be, you know, too much noise coming into the microphone, you can turn it to the minus. And equally, if you have a subject that's really far away, you can put it on the plus side to help pick up more sound. Now on the other side, there is a headphone jack. And what that allows is you can plug in some headphones and you can monitor the audio coming out of this microphone in real time. Now there's a volume switch right next to the headset, and that allows you to adjust the volume in your headset. I think that's a really nice feature if you own a camera that doesn't have an audio headphone jack. I used this microphone recently to do some interviews, so I was able to just plug the headphones in and listen to the audio before I recorded to make sure that I was close enough to the subject to get that good audio. And so that was a really useful feature, and I think having that with, you know, a camera that you don't have a headphone jack is a real game changer. And finally, on the front you have the mic out, which is where you plug in the cord, obviously. The Sennheiser microphones come with a nice thread system, so whenever you plug it in, you can thread it in, and that keeps it from accidentally popping out, which is another nice feature. And so as far as how this thing works, you turn your camera on, you press record, and it starts recording audio. And speaking of audio, you probably want to know what this thing sounds like. And a general rule of thumb is if you're going to be testing audio, it's best to be using some form of headphones, so you can throw those on now. But yeah, let's do some audio tests first in a studio setting like right now. Now what you're currently listening to as a kind of neutral middle ground is a much cheaper version of this microphone. Is the Sennheiser MKE 200. This is what it sounds like in a studio setting on my Canon M50 without any microphone. And, you know, I've done tests before, it sounds really, really bad. So let's plug in the MKE 400. All right, and now this is what it sounds like on the Sennheiser MKE 400. You were just listening to the Sennheiser MKE 200, which a little, you know, side review. This is also a great option. So if you want to, you can check that out on this channel. It's a lot cheaper. Now for a quick comparison, let's jump back to what it sounds like without any microphone. All right, again, here is what it sounds like without any microphone. Not very good. So for the other test, I know some people are going to be using this for like vlogging. So now let's head outside. All right, we're outside now. This is a vlogging setting where you'd be using the Sennheiser MKE 400. I am using the dead cat, which is on top of the microphone. And I don't know if you can hear, there's a little bit of wind that just picked up. There's also a car ripping down the road, so that's kind of a little background noise, but you know, this is what it sounds like here with the Sennheiser MKE 400. All right, quick comparison now. We just cut to the in-body microphone. In comparison, a lot of other cameras are probably gonna have similar audio quality to this. But as you can tell, there's probably a lot of wind noises, and it's really not that windy. But I've done audio tests before, and it just takes a little bit of wind and the audio is just kind of ruined with an in-body microphone. All right, now for comparison's sake, this is what it sounds like recording to the Sennheiser MKE 200, which is a more compact and cheaper microphone than the Sennheiser MKE 400. But you can be the judge if you think it's a $100 difference. All right, and finally we jump back to the MKE 400. That's the test here in the vlogging. Let's head back to the studio. So those were the audio tests. Now let's jump into the pros and the cons. So starting with the pros, as you could tell from those samples, the audio quality coming out of this microphone is really, really good. Another pro is that you can monitor the audio live, and I think that's a really nice feature. Another pro is that I really appreciate that the kit comes with a cord that you can plug into your smartphone, and that allows you to record really good audio to your phone. And I know a lot of people nowadays are using their phones more than ever to record videos, so being able to record really good audio straight to your phone is a really nice feature. And my final pro is probably my favorite thing about this microphone, and that is the design. The design of this microphone is super compact. It doesn't have a big bulky shock mount that gets in the way, and in fact, you know, I used to have a microphone that had a shock mount that, you know, your typical microphone has, and it actually broke when I was traveling. So this microphone doesn't have any parts that are, you know, hanging out that could break off. So the durable design, and also, you know, I think it just looks really nice. I think ultimately, you know, the design, the function of this microphone, the audio quality are all really great pros. Now on to the cons. I only really have two. The batteries, I wish it wasn't battery powered. I prefer a microphone that doesn't need to have batteries replaced, but as I stated before, they're AAA batteries, so they're not uncommon to get. You can have some spare ones laying around, and you know, they're not going to break the bank. I wouldn't really consider a serious con, but it is kind of annoying to have to change batteries. And my other con is that the dead cat is a little bit tricky to install if you're not used to it, but those are my only two cons. I think my biggest takeaway is that this microphone has a lot of great pro features and it sounds really good, and I think a lot of times people aren't really worried about the audio sound in their videos, and I think it's kind of underrated. So I think being able to invest in a microphone that's going to last you a really long time, that's durable, and that sounds really good, ultimately is a great investment. So if you are interested in this microphone, I will leave a link in the description. And if you have any comments or questions at all, leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a like. If you want to see more product reviews like this, consider subscribing. And if you do, I'll see you next time.